Does the number of NPIs affect the quality reporting process?
Oh, yes, that's a great question. In one sense, no, it doesn't. Uh, really, assessing and reporting quality on one provider is, for us, very much the same as the process of reporting for multiple providers. Whether there's 1 or 1,000 NPIs represented in the measure, the output is structurally the same. The denominator is the count of patients for whom the measure is indicated, whether the target audience is the provider's patients or the tax ID number's patients or the ACO's patients. Numerator is the count of patients for whom performance is met. We calculate and report exceptions, exclusions, reporting rate, and performance rate on top of the count of denominators and numerators. Now, on the other hand, more NPIs does make it a little more complicated. It gives a bigger number of patients, gives more variation in documentation practices. It relates to more complexity in the data collection, larger data sets we need to exchange, and a bigger job to appropriately identify and deduplicate the patient population. Now, there are 4 kinds of reporting that we are doing today. We report for individuals, that's 1 NPI at a time. We report for groups, that's 1 tax ID number at a time with all the TINs, all the NPIs that are billing in that TIN. We report NVPs. That's multiple groups of NPIs from each tax ID number. So a tax ID number doesn't become just its composite NPIs, but it's groups of NPIs grouped by NVP eligibility, essentially. And we're reporting for APP, which is multiple tax ID number practices with either some or all of their NPIs, depending on the model, from each ACO or advanced alternate payment models, APM. Now, each step up in that list, as you go from individual to group to MVP to APP, reflects a higher level of complexity in collecting data, analyzing the data, and displaying the data, and gradually increases the size of the data sets as well, so adds to the complexity. I think, though, that the largest driver of complexity in any quality reporting effort is the number of distinct information systems. The complexity we see in large number of tax ID numbers is driven primarily by the independent selection and maintenance of information systems. Even the same EHR implemented and maintained in separate instances significantly adds to complexity.